Do, 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 do. Rolling around at the speed of sound. Got places to go, gotta follow my way, bro. Can't stick around, have to keep moving on. Cause what lies ahead, only one way to find out. Must keep on moving ahead. No time for guessing, follow my pain instead. Oh, snap. What's going on, everybody? Ivy. Hi. Just getting myself together as usual. Hey man, what's going on, everybody? I was just getting myself together. Legit just singing City Escape from Sonic Adventure 2. Cause hey, at this point, let me think of something positive. Because that's just how it is. So, how do we start this today? Well, let's start with the first thing I should probably talk about. Um, Congrats to the Pittsburgh Steelers for getting this win. This was definitely a tough game for both teams because this whole situation has just been difficult trying to figure out when you're going to play, getting ready for that game to happen, and then the game doesn't happen. And next thing you know, you kind of have to reschedule that, and the team's got to figure it out. And it's just like, what are you going to do? So I understand why both teams really came out and did not look good at all. Now, of course, on the Ravens side, we expected that. The Ravens were basically throwing out a practice squad there. But for the Steelers, yeah, the Steelers themselves, you could tell that they weren't prepared to play today. And part of it has to deal with the fact that it's been crazy. They came out and they just weren't able to execute the same way we expected them to. Ben Roethlisberger was basically looking like Alex Smith out there with all those checkdowns. And I don't blame him for doing that. The offense was not in sync. They weren't ready to play a game like this. But the NFL said this game's going to happen today, so they did what they needed to do. Give the Steelers credit when they needed to make the plays. They made the plays, and they managed to pull out the victory. So credit to them. They obviously looked like they weren't ready to play this game. I don't think either team was really ready to play this game, but this game had to be played, so it is what it is, man. Credit to them. And anybody that's going to sit there and say the Steelers are overrated or just their record is a fluke, it is what it is at this point. That's what the playoffs is for. If the Steelers are truly flukes, then they're either going to go one and done or they're going to get beat by Kansas City. One or the other. They have an opportunity to prove themselves in the playoffs. So I'm tired of hearing all this overrated stuff every single week. At this point, give them their credit. Let's see what they do in the playoffs. With this record, you expect them to win the postseason. Let's see if they can do it. They haven't faced Kansas City, so who knows what happens. That's all I got for you, Steeler fans, man. I appreciate all the support you guys show my channel, man. But this is obviously a tough time. Now, granted, I'm not really mad per se. I think most of us came into this game expecting to lose, and a lot of people said we're going to get blown out. So the fact that the Ravens kept this close, we could be proud of that. We went out there and threw our practice squad out there, and they were able to compete for the most part. The game was relatively close. They showed some heart, and they played with some heart for the most part. Our defense only gave us one bad play, man. One bad play. They did not stop that catch from Washington on 3rd and 6. That's the only thing we could look at the Ravens defense and say, yeah, that one hurt. But other than that, they really did what they needed to do. Can't really be mad at how they played. And giving up that touchdown to Juju in that whole drive, you could just see they're gassed at this point. The Ravens defense was out there for a good chunk of the game. They were just gassed. So I'm not going to put too much blame on them. I don't really have any blame for the defense. They played their heart out. Congrats to them. Special teams as well. They did their job. Honestly, if it wasn't for that muff punt that they got, it would be what, 19-7. You can take off 7 points. We don't score a touchdown if it's not for that muff punt. So congrats to special teams. I really wish they would have tried Tucker on that field goal, but it is what it is. Other than that, I was pretty much fine with what I saw for the most part. Offensively, however, no. And coaching-wise, pathetic today. But yeah, defense and special teams, I love it. I love it. I love what I saw from today. They definitely played with some heart. Now getting into this offense. Oh boy, this offense. I hope that today's game has shown everybody just how crucial Lamar Jackson is to the Ravens offense. We do not have a passing game. It does not matter. It don't matter who you throw out there. We don't have a passing game. We have no passing game because Greg Roman cannot scheme up a passing game. Every play you make, every pass play that's made on this offense is strictly because of Lamar Jackson. And I'm glad Trace McSorley came into the game today because that touchdown pass to Hollywood Brown, I'm giving zero credit of that to Greg Roman. That was all McSorley. McSorley made that play. That was a beautiful throw to Hollywood Brown, and Hollywood Brown did the work, turned around, took it upfield, and got a touchdown. Greg Roman gets no credit for that. That is all Trace. That's him making the play. That's basically been the 2020 season for this offense. Lamar Jackson just having to make the play for the offense. If he doesn't make the play, the offense is not going to go because Greg Roman is not going to make it easier for Lamar Jackson because Greg Roman does not know how to scheme a pass game. And that was clear as day. I understand RG3 isn't the best, but you couldn't have come up with something. You couldn't have taken a page out of what the Patriots were doing with Cam Newton. Go back and look at what the Patriots did against us when on Sunday Night Football. Look how that offense was run. Look at the simple stuff they were throwing for Cam Newton. You telling me we can do that? I thought we were going to. I thought, we watched film. We would try and replicate what the Patriots did. Here, apparently we couldn't. Because, again, our run game was going to be fine. It's just you got to be able to make the play on the short passing game and set that up. We couldn't do that. We weren't setting up slants at all. Well, we did set up a few slants, but then we just went away from it. It's just we cannot design anything in the pass game. The Ravens do not have a pass game. Everything that is meant as done in the pass game, everything we've seen this season from the pass game has strictly been Lamar Jackson. Simply been Lamar Jackson. No question. Lamar Jackson is getting credit for this passing game because any success literally comes from Lamar. Lamar is our offense. And honestly, you put anybody in this offense, they're not going to be able to succeed because there's no passing game. And everybody's slowly starting to see that, yeah, Greg Roman is just trash. If you didn't know that before, like if you weren't a fan of Buffalo or San Francisco, you wouldn't really know much about Greg Roman. Both of them know they expected this from Greg Roman, so they're not surprised. But yeah, there's no passing game. It really just got to the point where the Steelers realized they're really not going to pass the football. Okay, let's crowd the line of scrimmage. They're not going to pass the football. They're not going to take a shot. As long as we stop this run game, they're not doing anything. Not even in the short passing game. They're not getting any quick passes or slants here. They don't have a passing game. The Ravens without Lamar Jackson is pretty much a lottery team. It is. And even if you put Trace in that situation, I wouldn't want to put Trace in that situation because I want him to thrive. And he would have to deal with the same situation Lamar is dealing with. That touchdown pass to Hollywood, he would have to be doing things like that all season. And even then, you're not 100% sure Hollywood's going to catch that ball. So that's kind of the situation we've been seeing. That's just how it is for the Ravens offense, man. The Ravens offense is terrible. Greg Roman himself needs to go. And again, this was another game where his play calling was meh. It is what it is. I'm not saying fire him for this play calling, but it's clear as day that it's not just the play calling. It's the coaching and discipline. Right. Ravens flock, you guys can agree with me on this. Back me up on this. Every game we've gone into this season, we've expected a penalty on the offense for one reason, illegal formation. How many illegal formation calls do we need to see every single week, Greg Roman? This just comes with your offense, doesn't it? Every week, there's always one illegal formation, and I'm so tired of it. Not only that, you expect a holding call. You expect at least one illegal formation and one holding call. And usually the holding call is going to be on the offensive lineman, and usually it's going to be Fluker because Fluker is just garbage. But yeah, you expect at least one illegal formation coming out of this offense. You can't keep Greg Roman if he's going to do this. You cannot. You don't have a passing game. The offense is legit terrible. You can't scheme anything up in the pass game. And then every game we go into, I'm guaranteed to have at least one illegal formation and one holding call. Where's the discipline? Oh, my God. Greg Roman has got to go. Whether or not you believe his play calling isn't the fault, it's clear as day. He cannot discipline these guys. There's no discipline on the offensive line. And these formations every single week comes out and it's the same old nonsense. Coming into this game, I said in my preview, there was a few things we needed to do if we would have a chance to win this game. One, the defense and the special teams were going to have to be on point. Defense would need to make a lot of stops and give us an opportunity to have the offense come out on short field, save for special teams. And the defense did that, and the special teams gave us a short field to work with. So credit to the defense. And credit to the special teams. They did that. Next thing I said needed to happen was we needed to run the ball with Gus and Justice Hill. We did that. We had some success. That is positive. Another thing I stressed is we cannot turn the ball over. This needs to be a turnover-free game. What happens? Second drive of the Ravens, fumble. Third drive of the Ravens, pick six by RG3. You're not going to win, man. You're not going to win when you're turning the ball over multiple times a game. That's just how it is. You're not going to win when you're turning the ball over multiple times a game. So clearly, those two turnovers hurt us early on. And looking at how the offense is, if we did not get that muff punt, there was no way we're going to score. This offense with RG3 had one good drive. One. And that was before the half. And we saw that clearly poor time management and coaching stopped us from scoring another touchdown. That and Wilson as well. Because Wilson apparently doesn't have hands. Just terrible. Just terrible. I mean, you got to make that. You got to make that catch. You've got to make that catch. So the offense failed to be disciplined. The offense failed to make sure we have a turnover-free game for us. And then coaching itself was just awful today. And they didn't know how to manage the time. You don't know how to manage the clock? Are you serious? John Harbaugh did the dumbest thing I've seen him do in quite some time. Bro, it's like 30 seconds left. We're at the goal line, and you decide to call a timeout. Why? Why would you call a timeout? Why not spike the ball and save the timeout? A smart coach in this situation would understand that something bad could go, something bad can happen here. All we're doing is running the football. If we get stopped, we need to have a timeout in our back pocket to be able to pull out so that we can get Tucker on the field. If we're not able to spike the ball again and have another opportunity, we need to be able to have a timeout saved so that we can kick the field goal. Instead, we choose to call a timeout for no reason. And then obviously the delay of game that should have been called happened there, but it wouldn't have happened in the first place if you wouldn't have, used your timeout for no reason. And then here comes RG3, like 3 seconds left on the clock. Instead of spiking the ball and letting Tucker come out on the field, he decides, we're going to snap it, play action. I got my man Wilson. He's wide open. I'm not completely mad that he snapped it. Maybe he thought he didn't have enough time. Maybe he wasn't paying attention to the clock. I don't know. But he snapped it, and he had a man open with Wilson. Just got here, and everybody was praising him. And then he proceeds to lose all faith from the Ravens flock when he can't catch a pass that hits him in his hands. I legit saw that. I was like, okay, that's a touchdown. Then next you know, the ball's gone, and I'm like, he did not just drop that. He really dropped that. You are open in the end zone. The ball hits both your hands, and you can't catch it. That would have made it a 14-12 game. Oh my God, that would have made it a 14-12 game. That hurt. That hurt. That really hurt. That really just goes to show you this offense is doomed. Oh my God, this offense is doomed. Then we get into the second half, and they proceed to do nothing with RG3. And by the way, RG3 took a pounding in this game. I mean, that defensive front, whoo, they beat the crap out of RG3. And RG3 had a bad habit today of holding on to the football, which I don't know why he would do that. I guess he doesn't like his. I guess he likes pain. He must like pain because you understand our offensive line is not going to hold these dudes. This offensive line is already bad, and then you're missing several starters, and it's just filled with injuries. And you think you're going to hold that defensive front of Pittsburgh. And of course, RG3 was going to end up injured. I'm not even surprised. Worst part about it is it looked like he injured himself. Nobody injured him. It looked like he injured himself running. So one way or another, an injury for RG3 just comes up. It's unfortunate for this dude, but it is what it is. Then all of a sudden, they bring Trace out. And Trace himself, a couple bad plays that he makes that could have been picked off, but I'm not holding anything on Trace. That man just came off the list, had no time to practice, and they threw him out there to the fire. And even with that, he made a play that resulted in the touchdown. And I was so excited when I saw that because I was thinking the Ravens defense is going to make a stop. Let's see if Trace can actually pull a comeback. That would have been a beautiful story for him. Honestly, that really could have helped. Man, if he would have gotten the ball back, it would have been fun to see. This guy coming off the COVID list, He's a third string quarterback trying to make a name for himself. And then he goes out there and scores a game winning touchdown against Pittsburgh. That would have been a storybook ending. Unfortunately, defense couldn't make the stop. And that's basically the game for the most part. It's unfortunate that this happened, but hey, it is what it is. You lost a lot of guys, but the team played with some heart. It was a close game, and Steelers came out with the win. And that's basically my assessment on the game. Recap: defense was fine except for the 3rd and 6 catch they gave up to Washington. Special teams was fine. In fact, they helped us by getting that muff punt. Offense was pedestrian for the most part. They had one good drive, and it was ruined by poor coaching and poor time management. Coaching staff in general was trash, except for Wink Martindale, because he actually did a really good job with our defense today. And then Greg Rowan himself just needs to be gone, because how many times can we complain about something? It's not even just the play calling anymore. It's just the penalties and the lack of discipline on the offensive line. He's got to go, man. It's over. And then obviously, guys not catching the football when they need to. That's just how it is, man. That being said, we are 6-5. We have a chance to make the playoffs if we go on a run. And Lamar comes back next week against the Cowboys. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. That being said, I'm going to leave the floor to you guys. I'm going to start answering your questions. So whatever you guys got for me, let's get them. Let's talk about it. Okay, so let me see. I'm going to see some of the earlier ones that I was seeing for the most part. Trace McSorley should have been in the game. Yeah, he should have been in the game. And they should have put him in after halftime. I think the Steelers weren't ready. They were not. They were not. How do I think McSorley played? I think he played well for the situation he was put in. I mean, they threw him into the fire. He was clearly not going to be ready. He just came off the list, and they threw him in. What's up, Darren? What's up, guys? Luke Wilson doing his Lee Evans impression. Don't remind me, Joshua. Just don't remind me. Just can't hold on to a football, man. Can't even hold on to a football. That was sad. Just letting you know, sending some terrible towels your way. Thanks, man. I appreciate those terrible towels. I do need something to wipe the crap off my car, so I'll be using it. I'm kidding, bro. That's just the inner Ravens talking to me. You guys played your hearts out. Salute. Thanks, man. Appreciate that, John. They played their hearts out, but at the end of the day, came up with the loss. So we'll have to regroup. Hopefully we get guys back, and hopefully we can beat the Cowboys. I mean, if we lose to the Cowboys, it's over. I mean, I don't care what you can make it in 10-6. No, it's over. Lose to the Cowboys, and that is a wrap. Do you think the Steelers can stop Mahomes? If they're on their A game, I want to see what they can do. I think that defense is the best. The Steelers have the best defense equipped to actually deal with Mahomes, but I don't know if they can actually beat them. I still think the Chiefs are going to beat the Steelers. Yeah, no cap, but the Steelers almost lost to a team full of backups. And it happens. Hey, the Ravens last year in high field almost lost to a team full of backups. It happens. That's football. That's AFC North football. No matter who's on the field, it's competitive. Y'all will go 10-6. I don't know. I mean, we might go 10-6, but I don't know if that's actually going to get us into the playoffs, because you got a lot of teams right now that are good in the AFC. Unless the Dolphins or the Browns just collapse out of nowhere, I don't know how we're going to fit in there. Who knows? I'm not going to lie. The Ravens coaching gave up. The Ravens coaching was an embarrassment today. I mean, just disgraceful. They gave up at some points. The time managing the clock was just pathetic today. They just looked horrible. Oh my God, the coaching is terrible. Changes need to be made at the end of this season. Just changes need to be made with that coaching staff. So many guys, we need to see some people go and some people to come in, man. Just, oof, man. The catch on 3rd down with James Washington was clutch. That was clutch. They made the play. Give the Steelers and give James Washington that credit, because if he doesn't make that catch, they're going to have to punt the football. And who knows what Trace does? I don't. Who knows what Trace does? Should have started McSorley. Well, here's the thing. Maybe they should have started McSorley, but the problem is he just came off the COVID list, and they didn't even expect him to play. The reason they started RG3 is because, one, he's the backup quarterback, and two, he had some level of practice with the starters. McSorley just came off the list. So they're not just going to throw this guy in and ignore RG3, who's actually practiced with the team. They're not going to really be able to do that. Imagine the Ravens make it to the Super Bowl and there's 4 seconds left on the clock and Mark Andrews drops a wide open pass to win the Super Bowl. At that point, he will never be forgiven by the Ravens flock. If we get to the Super Bowl, I'm going to put this right here on the live stream because this is the biggest level of optimism I can give the Ravens flock. After everything that's happened this season, all the injuries, all these people being on the COVID list, all the tough losses, the inadequate offense, the pathetic offense in general, Greg Roman being trashed, despite everything we've gone to, if the Ravens find a way to get to the Super Bowl and win, that's going to be the greatest run in sports history. You can book that because I don't remember the last time a team's had to deal with all of this in one season and found a way to win a championship. Like, nah. Man, I never saw this happen. At least Trace looked pretty decent and threw a dime like he wasn't even trying. See, y'all gonna have to tell me about this whole Trace. I know he's popular. What was he popular on TikTok or something? I don't know. I don't really know where this whole Trace situation came up. I'm still trying to figure that out myself. So you guys not even gonna make the playoffs. Just wow. We might not make the playoffs, man. We still have a chance if we can run the table and go 11-5, but who knows? The Steelers are now beating us with 20. McSorley is most likely going to start next week. I don't know when Lamar can come back. Lamar can come back next week against the Cowboys. Because they've pushed the game so much, the earliest Lamar can come back is Monday. And the game's going to be on Tuesday against the Cowboys. So Lamar will be able to play against the Cowboys if they choose to. I don't know if they're going to, but considering the fact that we're 6-5 and, the situation's bad, and we clearly saw how pathetic this offense is, it might be a good idea to just put your MVP quarterback out there against a team that's under 500. Who knows? Can't let one game define you, dude. What about the team we blew out? No, you look at the bad games and judge off of that. No, I'm not waiting. All right, I'll wait. You must be talking about that. I don't know. You're not talking about me. I don't know. I don't just look at the bad games like that. You must be talking about, I don't know, Steelers and Chiefs fans going at it in my chat right now. Can Joe Hayden get a McPix? Remember in 2012 when we went 10-6 and won the Super Bowl, but we were leading the division? Just saying, yeah, well, we were leading the division at what were we 9-4, and then we were like 9-3 or 9-4, and then we just started losing. Yeah, we were 9-4. I think we lost 2 straight games, and then we won and got in the playoffs, man. Play calling has always been questionable under Harbaugh. How many offensive coordinators have we been through under John Harbaugh? Like 6 or 7. Because I know we had Cam Cameron. I know we had Caldwell. I know we had Kubiak. I know we had Trustman. We had Roman and I think we have 6 or 7 offensive coordinators that we've been through under John Harbaugh. And his coaching himself, he's always been questionable for the most part. Steelers win, GG. Your team did all right. Yeah, we did our best. They played their hearts out. So, yeah, credit to them. It's tough losing this game, but they played their hearts out. Don't sweat it. The Niners are 5-6 and still in the playoff race. That's what I'm saying. You could keep fighting. Both the Ravens and Steelers are dealing with injuries, but they're still in the playoff race. It's not over till it's over. That's not over till it's over. Imagine the Ravens make it to the Super Bowl and there's 7 seconds and the fourth left and Mark. Yeah, if Mark Andrews does that, it's a wrap. Ravens fans will never forgive him. He cannot make up for that. Just no way he's going to make up for that. The Steelers are done. Bud Dupree tore. Oh, Dupree tore his ACL? That's tough, man. This season's done. Praise up for that, man. Hopefully he makes a strong recovery. But, yeah, his season's done. That's tough. That is tough. Steelers are not going far, okay? They are frauds. Trust me. I know what I'm saying. Hey, like I said, I've heard this every week about the Steelers being frauds. At this point, let's just wait to the playoffs. We can't be doing this every week. The Steelers are frauds, and then they keep winning. They keep winning a game. Well, they're frauds. They keep winning a game. Well, they're frauds. It kind of hurts your argument. At this point, save the whole Steelers are overrated and Steelers are frauds. Wait until you get in the playoffs. If they go 1 and done, bam, that's your proof. Or if they get blown out by the Chiefs, that's also your proof. Lamar still has to test negative before game day. Yeah, he has to test negative. If he does, he can play. To be honest, the Ravens won't even make the playoffs. Talks about Super Bowls. Nah, we're just saying if they I said that the Ravens make the playoffs. I don't know if the Ravens going to make the playoffs or not. They have to go on a run. If they make the playoffs, they have a great chance to. I mean, look at their schedule. Their schedule is on the weaker side moving forward. And if they can get Lamar back, they have a good shot to go on a run and make the playoffs at 11-5. But who knows? I don't know. Most Ravens fans have kind of accepted the fate that this is what we are. we're probably not going to make the playoffs. But it is what it is. Steelers got to do better if they're trying to go far. These close wins, that schedule ain't cutting it. See, part of me agrees with you. They've got to do better in performing, but there's nothing wrong with being able to pull off close wins because their defense has proven they can make stops when they need to. And that can go a long way in the postseason. If you have a defense that can make a stop in clutch situations, and they've done that time and time again in the regular season, that can go far for you in the playoffs. That could really help your team in the playoffs because there could be a moment where you need to stop somebody and you need you need the defense to lock up, and the steel curtain does it. So I understand people don't like the close games, but winning close games is what you want your team to be able to do, especially coming down to December, early to late December, and then into January. You want to have your defense prepared for these type of situations. And the Steelers defense has had plenty of practice in being prepared for late game situations where the defense has to make a stop or else the team's going to win. They've made multiple stops this season, so that could help them in the long run. 2021 wide receivers free agencies are Ty Hilton and Allen Robinson. We could take both, honestly. They wouldn't want to come here, but anybody you can get at this point would help this offense. Do you think Lakers will win back-to-back championships? I mean, they're pretty much set up to. And didn't LeBron sign like a 2-year extension as well? They have the Lakers free agency this season has been flawless. They got exactly what they wanted. They lost some guys, but they replaced the guys with even more. You got rid of Danny Green and you got Schroeder now. You guys, man, they're set. The Lakers are the favorites. They're probably going to win the championship again this year. Who knows? RG3 is terrible, but this game proved Lamar is basically our yeah, it's pretty much that, man. It basically is. He's basically our offense. Guys after Luke Wilson lost, do not hit up on social media. We do not need to. Yeah, don't troll him or send death threats. That's not cool, guys. Like, don't do that. Don't send death threats to this guy because the Pokemon. It's all cool, man. But like, don't send death threats to this man. If Ravens blow out Cowboys next week by third or beginning of fourth quarter, they should put Trace in to give him more reps. Really promising dude. Yellers played sloppy and didn't deserve to win. Hey, they made the plays though. It is what it is. At the end of the day, you play 60 minutes. Whoever wins the game, that's just how it is. Hopefully, we can win the rest of our games. We have a pretty easy schedule. Cleveland's still a concern because we have no way to stop the run game, and both Chubb and Kareem Hunt are dangerous. So we'll see how that goes for the most part. Chiefs or Steelers? I'm gonna take the Chiefs. We'll see. Browns will lose 3 games and three easy game schedule. I don't know if Browns will lose 3. Let's see how Cleveland's doing well. They're playing by a formula and just running the football, and it's doing wonders for them. What do you think the Ravens' record would be? Well, if we play our cards right, I think he can be 11-5, but I'm really seeing 10-6 for the most part. I feel like one game. I don't know. I don't trust that Cleveland game because we cannot stop the run. That Cleveland game is the one thing that concerns me. Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb scare me, and I'm not sure we can stop the run. And that's how they've been winning their games so far this season. Also, Baker's not turning the ball over, which is nice. Do you think the Warriors will be back in the playoffs with Steph Curry being healthy? I still think they can make the playoffs. I don't think they're going to go on the championship run without Clay, but they can definitely make the playoffs. Lamar is basically late 2000s Braun. Our offense is literally he's just the offense. That's just it. That's just him. He's just the offense. As for getting rid of Greg Roman, if we get rid of Greg Roman, who would you think would be a good fit for him? I've been getting a lot of different suggestions from other people saying guys like that, but everyone's been honing in on the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs, Eric. They've been saying get him to Baltimore, that would help, but I don't know. I don't see him leaving Kansas City to be an offensive coordinator for the Ravens. If he's leaving, he wants to be a head coach. You had some people spamming out. You need to get some moderators. I really should. That's just how it is. From 5-1 to 6-5. That's cool, man. What is just another one of these spammers. It is what it is. Lamar Jackson is not our offense. RG3 is just that bad. Well, dude, it don't matter who you put here. He is our offense. We don't have a passing game, man. Mark, we don't have a passing game at all. It don't matter who you throw into this offense. We're not going to have success. With Lamar Jackson, at least we weren't finishing drives, but we can move the ball down the field. And all the plays the man's made this season has been because of him. He's made that play. We don't have an offense. We don't even have an identity. You would think without Lamar Jackson, just run the ball. But even then, you're not even 100% sure if that's just their identity or not. We don't know what the Ravens' offense is without Lamar. And even with Lamar, you don't know what to think. It's just weird. It's just weird. Lamar is everything to our offense at this point. We need big physical receivers for Lamar right now. Don't know where we're going to get them. Don't know where we're going to get them, but do you trust Trace to lead the team if Lamar can't play? Well, it depends if the team wants to put Trace at that role. If they like what they saw late in the game and they want to put him there, it is what it is. I wouldn't be mad at it. But I think he can do a good job if he gets some practice. I don't know. I think he can do a solid job. But who knows? And last year is starting to look like the exception. It usually looks like the exception. Man, the Ravens aren't used to having that much success. They're not used to having that much success. That really looked like an outlier. Like, that's really looking like an outlier. Oi. Who are the top 3 people you would choose to build a team around? You gotta pick I don't even know if you're talking about like all time or just current in the roster. Like if you're talking about currently in the NFL, that's different. I mean, you gotta go with the best quarterback in the league. You have to get that. And then you want to get one of the best defensive players in the league. And then you're gonna want to have I don't know. It would definitely have to be the best quarterback. It would have to be the best defensive back in the league. That can definitely help. And then maybe the best running back. Who knows? Who knows? Who definitely knows? All time, I'm not even sure. That's definitely something I would have to take time to think about. You should be calm unless they lose to the Cowboys, Jaguars, Giants, or Bengals. Yeah. I'm pretty much fine. I'm not really mad or anything. Like I said, the Ravens play with their hearts out. I'm not mad about this loss. I think we all expected this loss to happen. I'm cool with the loss. I'm just glad they went out there and played their hearts out. Because if they went out there and they just got embarrassed, I would have been pissed off. Because that's not Ravens football. They went out there and played their hearts out and did the best they can. And they had a chance to win. 7 of 10 games this year, Lamar Jackson hasn't even passed for 200 yards. Mark, I don't know if I can tell you this in a simple way possible, but let me tell you something about the Ravens offense. We're not a passing offense. We are a run-first offense. Okay, my friend? And the run game starts with Lamar Jackson. When I say Lamar Jackson's everything to the offense, Lamar Jackson determines both the run and the pass game. It's as simple as that. When you got defensive backs all over the league, when they're in the backfield and preparing for the run, they're not looking at J.K. Dobbins. They're not looking at Gus Edwards. They're looking at Lamar Jackson and seeing what he's going to do. Lamar controls the run game and he controls the pass game. It's as simple as that. He is everything to this offense. And again, when it's like he hasn't even passed for 200 yards, I keep trying to explain to you guys, passing yards does not mean everything to this thing. Passing yards is one of the most overrated stats in the league. We can't continue to be blind to it. We saw Tom Brady in the Super Bowl throw for 505 passing yards, and they still lost the game. Passing yards isn't everything in this league. It's a nice stat to have, especially if you're a fantasy football concept. If you're part of the fantasy football league, passing yards definitely matter, but they're overrated. I've seen Fitzpatrick throw 400 passing yards in a game, and they still lost. It does not matter. Passing yards are overrated. Okay, they're the most overrated stat in the game. It's not about passing yards. The stats that really matter in the offense is just touchdowns for the most part. Touchdowns and turnovers are the 2 things that matter. Okay? 2 things that matter. Exactly. Gaming Bros. Lamar he didn't throw for over 500 yards, but he had over 500 yards of offense. He had over 500 yards of offense, and they totaled 12 points. Yards isn't everything. It's the most overrated stat in the league. What matters is touchdowns and turnovers. Bro, Lamar Jackson wide receivers get more one-on-ones than any other receiving core in the NFL. There's no excuse. Yeah, they do get more one-on-ones, but have you actually been paying attention? They can't get separation. There has been film that's shown they can't get separation. On most games, they either can't get separation, or if you've really been paying attention, Mark, they drop passes. Go back and look at the Titans game. None of these guys get separation. And when they did, they dropped open passes. Not everything's on Lamar. I keep that. Look at the game closely. Look at these receivers not getting separation. Look at the offensive scheme, not scheming for the receivers. Look at them dropping passes. Not everything's on Lamar Jackson. If you truly believe the only thing that's wrong with this offense is Lamar Jackson, you're not paying attention to the Ravens offense. Because that's basically saying, well, take Lamar Jackson out and everybody else has been flawless. These receivers would each have 1,000 yards if they had a different quarterback. It's not going to work like that. You can put Deshaun Watson in the same offense and nothing's going to happen. In fact, with Deshaun Watson, he'd probably be sacked more than Lamar Jackson because Deshaun loves to hold the ball because he's looking for the deep ball. But with these receivers who can't get any separation in the outside, he's not going to find it. And with our offensive line being just as bad as a Texas O-line, he's going to be sacked a lot. So, yeah, this offense is not good. It's not just about Lamar. Everyone wants to put the blame on Lamar, but you continue to look at this offense in its core. This offense is trash. Not saying he's the biggest problem. That Hurst trace was stupid. That is a problem. That's another thing you brought up. The 3 tight end sets worked so well, and it hit the weaknesses of our receivers. Our receivers weren't good last year. It's just these tight ends were so great, they hit that. So because of that, we were able to be effective. Also for Mark Andrews, he was able to be effective because you had another guy in Hurts that would go out, and then you had Boyle who could block. So that 3 tight end set did wonders for our team. Without it this year, there's nothing you could do. The way Lamar is able to buy time in the pocket, there's no excuse to not get open. Exactly. That's another thing I didn't even bring up. Lamar buys so much time in the pocket, and still no one can get open. That just speaks for the receivers. Oh, Dark Music. What's up, girl? Lamar Jackson still couldn't beat us in our own house. And wait. Lamar still couldn't beat us. Like, in terms, he really just turned the ball over. That one I got to put on Lamar. That game was really on Lamar. He just turned the ball over. If Lamar doesn't turn the ball over 4 times, the Ravens probably win. Where you could say, yeah, that's really on Lamar. Lamar just turned the ball over 4 times and doesn't do that, the Ravens probably win that game. Those 4 turnovers killed us. Mahomes and Brady's the LeBron versus MJ of the NFL. You can make that argument. I'm not 100% sure yet. I don't know if you could say that. You honestly, some people may be looking at the situation with Mahomes and call him Kobe because Kobe came into a prime situation with the Lakers. I mean, if you think about it like that, Mahomes is in a prime situation. LeBron went to Cleveland. That was the worst situation for him. He had nobody surrounded by him for 7 years. He had to carry that franchise. So I'm not sure if you can call Mahomes LeBron because Mahomes doesn't have to go through the struggles that LeBron did. Go look at the 7 years. That man carried that team. Mahomes is elevating that team. He's not carrying his team. Hell, I would probably say Deshaun Watson would be more LeBron than anything because he's had to carry the Texas franchise. That's pretty much how it's been for the most part. Yeah, so I wouldn't really did that. As a Chiefs fan, give us Steelers. We would love to show the world. You're right about Watson, but he's still performing good on a weak team in the bad man. Watson's doing his very best for the most part. Like I said, Watson's doing his very best, but it is what it is with the situation. I hope KC is Steelers in the playoffs. They have the easiest schedule. By the time they face a real team, they won't know what to do. Pats had a similar situation last year with their easy schedule. I mean, they have faced some real teams. Like, hey, as much as it sucks, the Ravens technically, when they faced them in Baltimore, that was they weren't. They had a lot of people missing, but that technically was a real team. And the Titans were also another good team. At this point, if you're saying the Chiefs are a real team, then that means who else is a real team? That means the Chiefs are the only real team. You can't really say that. You got to look at teams that are over 500 and how they perform. The Titans and the Ravens were both great tests, and they won those games. It's not their fault the other guys were turning the ball over. Like, it's not their fault Lamar was turning the ball over and the Titans kicker couldn't make a kick. It's not their fault. They just won the game. Were you sad that Jay Crowder left a Heat to play for the Suns? It was unfortunate. It was tough. We all have love for Jay. The Miami Heat love this man. He finally found a place where he could fit in, and he was great here, man. He was great. He wasn't able to do much in the finals, but still, he was a great contributor to this offense. He did some things defensively. I'm gonna miss Jay Crowder, but I wish him the best with the Suns. It was just a situation where they just couldn't work it out in terms of contract-wise. They just weren't able to work it out, but it sucks. It is what it is. But yeah, I'm gonna miss Jay. Best of luck with the Suns. Uh, why is everyone saying our schedule is easy? Our schedule isn't easy. It's just it wasn't as hard as others. I mean, that's basically why they're saying it's easy. But still, you guys had faced teams over 500. You won, so it is what it is. Oi, what makes Kelsey great? Oh, you guys see that's Chiefs and Steelers fans go. Well, actually, he's a Niners fan, but still, who's better, Ravens or Browns? I mean, that's tough. That is definitely tough because you gotta look at the guys that they've been playing, and they've been the teams that they've been playing, they've beaten, but they've been close in, and that's the same teams that they played. The Ravens, like the Texans, the Ravens blew out the Texans, and the Browns won a close game with them. I don't know. I feel like the teams are about even right now, but you gotta give the edge to the Browns just because they got more of their guys healthy right now. This is how it is. Oi, Browns are always the Browns. Mistake by the the Baltimore Ravens have never drafted and developed a wide receiver. Let that sink in. Yeah, they haven't, and they probably won't unless they seriously. I don't know why this scout team has not been fired. I don't know why our receiving coaches haven't been fired. These guys haven't been doing their job. If Eric DeCosta truly means what he said when he's trying to make a beast on the offense, then he needs to get rid of these guys and bring some people in that know what they're doing. You need to bring in some scouters that actually know how to scout receiving talent because the guys we have right now have never done their job well. That's just how it is for the most part. These guys are terrible. Do Chiefs fans even know? Okay, see, y'all going at it for the most part. We're gonna go 11-5. Hopefully, with some of our players coming back. Hopefully, they can come back like, for the Cowboys, especially Lamar. Man, it is what it is. I think John Harbaugh is holding the Ravens team back. A lot of us, a lot of people are just looking at John and thinking he's holding the team back because he's holding the team back because he's just the coaching. It's always the coaching problem, and not just with his coaching, but with his coaching staff. You can't put that on him, but he's never been disciplining those guys. Like, look at Greg Roman. How can you sit there and let this man continue to pull out the garbage he's been doing? Look at the coaching job he's done there. Look at the receiving coaches. What have they done? Like, hold these dudes accountable. That's why a lot of people feel like he's holding back. And then you don't want any authority on defense. You don't want to have a voice. That was the same thing. He was clashing with Ed Reed and Ray Lewis because he didn't want to deal with that. He had to accept that. He didn't want players having the power for the most part. He had to just accept that, and that gave us a Super Bowl. Since then, we haven't done nothing, man. We won a playoff game. Do you think Montrezl Harrell went to the Lakers for ring chasing, or the Clippers don't have enough money to pay him? I'm pretty sure he went to the Lakers because Paul George was speaking some nonsense about how this year don't matter and how we got to run it back next year. And he was like, "I'm not playing with Paul George anymore. I'm about to go to the better LA team." That's what makes me think that Lamar's gonna go off if we get rid of G-Roll. So yeah, he's not gonna go off. I don't know why we won't run more of a spread offense with Lamar Jackson. We keep running everything from the pistol and we're doing the same old generic basic plays. We need to run more of a spread offense with Lamar. We're not even doing that. And we're probably not going to do that. So it is what it is. Boy, if the Ravens lose again, I don't know if they'll go. They probably won't. They probably won't. That's the sad part. They probably won't. Russell Westbrook's going to the wait, what? No, timeout, guys. Y'all can't be playing with me. Russell Westbrook is not going to the Wizards. This can't be real. No, 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 no. What is this? Are you kidding me? Houston has agreed to trade Russell Westbrook to Washington for John Wall. Why? Why would you? What the? They traded John Wall in the first round pick. Why? Why would you trade John Wall in a first round pick for Russell Westbrook? Oh my, Bradley Beal, get out. Get out, my man. Do whatever it takes. I love you to death. Get out of Washington. It's over. Get out of Washington. Here I am sitting here just talking about the Ravens and everything, and I get some news that the Wizards decide they're going to trade John Wall and draft pick to go get Russell Westbrook. Bradley Beal, get out. Bradley Beal, whatever you have to do to save your career, leave Washington now. Oh my God. Why would Russell Westbrook is not doing anything? I guess with Russell Westbrook, we might be making the playoffs, but obviously we're not competing for no championship with no Russell Westbrook. Y'all really, I understand wanting to get rid of John Wall because of his contract and not knowing how he's going to do, but y'all got rid of John Wall. Oh, I'm not even going to talk about that. I'm not making a video of that. We're just going to leave it there. Westbrook and Beal duel isn't bad, though. It's not going to work out, man. It's not going to work out. I love Russ to death. He's one of my favorite players to watch, but it's not going to work out. They're not going to do anything in the playoffs if they can. I love Russ, but no, it's not going to work, especially because the team looks like they're trying to build towards Beal. Let me stop talking about basketball. It's supposed to be about the Ravens, man. I don't know what the Wizards is just, oh my God. The one player, John Wall and Bradley Beal's all the reason I've been watching the Wizards all these years. And now John Wall's gone. I'm done. I'm done. Bradley Beal, come to Miami. Bradley Beal, come to Miami. We accept you. Come to Miami. Bro, next offseason, if we don't need Giannis. We don't need, get Bradley Beal. Live stream, anybody who cuts this, send this to Pat Riley. Do whatever it takes to get Bradley Beal. Let's save this man. Let's save this man. Bring Bradley Beal to South Beach and let's partner him up with this squad here. We got Jimmy Butler. We got Bam. We got a lot of guys here. Let's just bring Bradley Beal to the Heat. Pat Riley, I know you got that. Let's get back on these Ravens real quick because that just ruined my day. But yeah, the Ravens need a better quarterback coach. You know what? The Ravens need a better coaching staff, period. Offensive coordinator needs to go. Receiving coach needs to go. Strength and conditioning coach probably should be fired. Scouting team needs to go. Quarterback coach needs to go. What has happened? Just send everybody out. Oh my God. Have you waved the white flag yet? I really wanted to, but at this point it's kind of lost meaning because, like, if it was the whole squad there that just got stomped on Thanksgiving like I expected it to, like, I didn't expect us to get stomped, but, like, I expected the Ravens to go there. And I thought with Lamar and the crew, we had a good shot to beat the Steelers. But since the whole, outbreak for the Ravens and then having our practice squad go out there and they still managed to compete, I can't really say we should wave the white flag yet because it seems like they still got some fight left. They still got some fight. Oh my! You think the Browns are going to the playoffs? They're on a great track. As long as they can't mess us up. The Browns are in a good situation. Keep doing the same formula you've been able to do. Continue to run the ball with Chubb and Hunt. As long as Baker doesn't make any mistakes, you guys should be good to go and you should make the playoffs. However, people are thinking the Browns are about to start losing games right now. So we'll see. If they can win, they got to win a couple good games, man. But continue to follow this formula. Continue to follow this formula. Because right now, it's going well. It's going well. It's going well. And for the most part, you got to give credit to Stefanski because Stefanski has brought this whole running mentality to the Browns, and it's done wonders for them. So, yeah. But overall, back to Ravens, get these coaching staff out of here. These guys don't know what they're doing. If the Koska really wants to help this team moving forward, you need to, a lot of changes need to be made. The Browns are going up against the Titans, Steelers, and Ravens. Whoa. Okay, the Titans one's going to be tough. Steelers, if they don't play down to the competition, should win that. And the Ravens game, that one's not a gimme as well. I mean, the Ravens could very well lose that. Who knows? They might be able to win that. They might be able to win one of those 3 games, but who knows what's going to happen? The Browns, still should be able to beat the Browns. I think the Titans should win. That Ravens game, depending on who's playing, who knows? But I don't trust our coaching staff, and I don't know how the situation's going to go. But yeah, man, I'm so tired of this coaching staff. David Culley needs to be fired. Oh, yeah, I think that was a strength and conditioning coach. He needs to be gone. Matter of fact, everybody needs to go. Strength and conditioning coach, you need to be fired. Greg Roman, you need to be gone. James Urban, I think he was a quarterback coach development. It's not where it needs to be. So you need to go. Our wide receiving coach, he needs to go. Our entire scout team needs to go. Matter of fact, I don't know how many are actually on the scout team. I say cut it in half. Cut it in half. The best people of that scout team should stay because we don't want to lose that defensive part. But you need to cut them in half and bring in some people for the offense because we need scouters that can actually scout receiving talent. Every week, A.J. Brown and DK Metcalf go out there and do something. We continue to look foolish. Aye. It should have been 14 inches. Even if it's 14 inches, I'm not even sure. They probably would have gone for it. The Steelers looked like they were going to go for it. Who knows? But then again, who knows what's going to happen? Now y'all can't blame Lamar. At this point, you look at the offense. I'm not saying Lamar is completely blameless. There have been times where Lamar has been, just inconsistent. Lamar is not completely at fault, and we've called him out on that. But still, like I said, still, that just needs to be. It's not all his fault. There was 20 people on COVID list. We were already expected to lose. This wasn't a big. No, Luke. I think you may have come late to the game. We're not. I'm not holding the team accountable for the loss. We already expected them. In fact, I've said they played their hearts out. When I'm saying get rid of these guys, I'm talking about for the future because you cannot sit there and tell me you trust Greg Roman moving forward. And judging by what we've seen from our receiving coaches, they haven't developed these receivers at all. So they need to go too. And then our strength and conditioning coach, he might just need to be fired for incompetence. And then some of the people on the scout team also got to go because they haven't been able to do a good job at scouting receiving talent. I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about for the future, my man. Not because of this loss. We're not talking about that. So you want them to fire Harbaugh as well? You're going to have to get a head coach that can come in and do it. Harbaugh at this point, I feel like he's got so much, the best time to fire. I don't think Harbaugh is going to be fired. I think at this point, Harbaugh is going to be there until the end of his contract. I don't know. I think his contract goes into 2022. Whenever Harbaugh's contract is up, he's probably gone. That's just how it is. Harbaugh, fine. I don't think he's gonna go. I think they're probably going to do another situation where they're like, we're gonna wait to see how his contract situation works, and when his contract is about to come up, we're gonna see what he does as a head coach. If he doesn't deliver, they'll get rid of him. But I don't see Harbaugh getting fired. I would be shocked if Harbaugh's getting fired. Like at this point, I would be shocked to see him getting fired. Lamar Jackson not playing, but y'all blame him. No, I did not blame him for nothing. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't blame Lamar Jackson for nothing. Imagine a team going 5-1 and then losing 4 games out of 5. This is not the first time we've seen this, my man. We've seen this plenty of time. Have you forgotten about what was it, the 2018 Atlanta Falcons when they went 6-0 and then proceeded to lose their next 7 games? This is not a surprise. These things happen. ESPN actually called the Titans pretenders. I feel like I don't know what the Titans are. It really all depends on how much do you really think Derrick Henry can carry this team. He carried them to the AFC Championship game last year, but I don't know. Who knows? You know how ESPN be. DK hates the Eagles because DK hates the Eagles because he wanted to play with them and play with Wentz, but they didn't draft him. Well, you can take it out on them. He's with Seattle. Lucky for him, he's with Russell Wilson, so he should appreciate that. Make Trace McSorley the backup. They might have to. Did you not see how they wrapped up RG3's leg? He injured himself again. He's a legend. Who's your top 3 receivers for this season? Man. You gotta look at AJ Brown as one of those people. You gotta look at D Hop in some cases for one of those people. I like what I'm seeing from Terry McLaurin. He's definitely, but I don't know who I could put as my 3. I don't know. I wouldn't be mad going with DK, D Hop, and AJ Brown. I wouldn't be mad going at that for the top 3 receiving. So wait. I'm not gonna forget this man. Justin Jefferson. Put him on the list too. And Stephon Diggs. You got to put Stephon Diggs. I'm like, look, I don't know who I could put as my top 3. And Tyreek Hill. There's so many. Who can I put in the top 3? We got to have a debate, who's going to be in the top 3, obviously. Tyreek Hill, I think you're going to have to put it in because he's just a cheat code. And then you got to look at D-Hop in some cases. You got to look at guys like Stephon Diggs, A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf, Terry McLaurin. There are too many receivers that have been good. Chase Claypool, he might be offensive rookie of the year. Who knows? It's just so many receivers have been good this season. I'm not exactly sure who to put. Will you make reaction videos one day? Like reactions to other things besides football? I might do that one day. I mean, my title of my channel is keeping it real because I keep it real about anything. I don't just limit myself to sports. I'm sure once the NFL season dies down and I have time, I'm sure I'll probably start talking about other things and reacting to other things because keeping it real expands to everything. It's not just football, but I just prefer to talk about football. It doesn't mean I don't have other things to talk about. If I just decide one day I want to sit back and react to some Sonic thing, I could talk about Sonic for no reason. If I want to talk about an old TV show I was watching, I could do that. If I want to react to some memes, I can do that. If I want to talk about anime, I can do that. I can just expand to anything. But I just prefer to talk about sports here. Doesn't mean that I can't talk about anything else. This keeping it real, it can go to anything. But yeah, Who would you guys put as your top three? Like I'm looking Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill gotta be top three because do you think Mike Evans is a good? Mike Evans is definitely a good receiver. Not even a question. He might be a top 10 receiver. I'm looking at like who? Okay, Tyreek Hill has to be there as one of the three. Tyreek Hill. Okay, that's one. Then another. Who would you feel comfortable putting it there? I'm gonna let you guys like you got to pick between D Hop or Devontae Adams is another good pick. I'm gonna give you three people right now. Okay, Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, and you can go with oh, I'm looking at that. There are too many ones. You can go with Deon. We can leave Tyreek Hill there. You can go with Devontae Adams, DK Metcalf, DeAndre Hopkins, and AJ Brown. You could take one of these four and put them in the other two. One D Hop, two Tyreek, and then Devontae Hills. Okay, I'm Devontae Adams. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Okay, I'm gonna be real with you. Steelers got lucky. I'm not gonna count it to luck. We had our opportunities and we just didn't, capitalize on it. One D Hop, two Julio, three Devontae Adams. Julio's also another one I gotta put there. And Tyler Lockett definitely is underrated. He does not get nearly the amount of respect he should. Um, Keenan Allen from the Chargers, give him some credit too. Why aren't you calling me? Juju's not a top receiver. I respect Juju and I like his game, but he's not a top receiver. He's not going to be on this list. I'm glad people can't blame Lamar for this game. People find a way to blame Lamar for this game. They'll probably take the touchdown that just accepted it. Okay, this is just how it is. It's how it is. They're gonna take shots at Lamar. That's just how it is. No, we dealt with Flacco hate for over a decade. I'm fine with that. It is what it is. I expect people to hate Lamar Jackson. It is what it is. I feel like the Ravens could have played a lot better earlier in the season. They could have if we just would have. We never got our offense together, and Greg Roman's play calling has just been predictable at this point for much of the season. DeAndre Hopkins, Michael Thomas, and Julio. That's a nice three list. Who do you think is the Bay Ravens' best receiver? This point, you might as well give it to Willie Snead because we've been hating on Willie Snead, but he's actually been the best receiver when it comes to like just been the best receiver in general this season overall. You can choose between you're gonna have to choose a receiver because I'm not gonna count Mark Andrews. Remember when you said the Raiders aren't going to make the playoffs? If the season ended tomorrow, they would be the 7th seed and y'all would be missed. I know. There's a long race to this. And I've already told Raiders fans that if they make the playoffs, I will be saying some words to them because let's just say the 3 years are about to run up. The 3 years are about to run up. They either make the playoffs and prove me wrong, or they miss it and I get to laugh at them. They know what's up. They know what's up because they know me and Gruden. Nah, I have no faith in Gruden. But yeah, they have a right to prove me wrong. If they make the playoffs this season, I'll give them their credit. Yeah, Flacco got too much hate. He did get too much hate. And judging from what we're seeing with Lamar, it's clear they did not set him up to succeed. They did not get him. They did not draft him the receivers he needed. And it's sad. It's sad. But it is what it is. As of now, the Ravens have little to no chance to win the division. Yeah, I don't care about the division anymore. The Steelers have taken that. We have accepted that. Steelers are going to win that division. They're taking it, no question. What really happened? I guess you guys basically stopped using your quarterback spread runs. They have. I don't know. We need to become more of a spread offense with Lamar Jackson. I don't know what they're doing anymore. We keep running all our plays from the pistol. It's not working out. Get this man out of here. Do you know any K-pop groups? I do not. I'm sure I've listened to a lot of K-pop songs, but I don't know the name of the groups. I probably should keep up with that. That would be something smart to do. Hollywood, the only good wide receiver y'all have on a run first team. That ain't even have no play design to get him open. That's why Greg Roman needs to go. He does not know how to scheme for Hollywood Brown. Browns aren't making the playoffs. We'll see. They're 8-3, but they'll have to collapse to see that happen. Who do you think is better, Ray Lewis or Ed Reed? My favorite player is Ed Reed, so I would pick Ed Reed. But I wouldn't mind saying Ray Lewis would be the best. Our season is in dire strengths. We cannot lose. Yeah, they have to go on a run at this point. What's up, Buckeye? They have to go on a run at this point. They have to go on a run with this point. See, I make one video showing my hate to Adam Gase, and now I got this Adam Gase freaking Adam Gase. No, you're right. Replace Roman with me. No, no. I made one video hating on Adam Gase, and now I'm gonna have a bunch of just Adam Gase lovers come out of nowhere to troll me. Palomalu is better than Reed. You will never get me to admit that. I will never get that. And you can try to take that line where I just read your comment and said that's me saying it, but I'm gonna say it right here incredibly. Ed Reed is better than Troy Polamalu, and I will never change my mind. It's not happening. I'm picking Ed Reed 100 out of 100 times, and I love Troy. Well, I mean, I have love and respect for Troy, but he made me cry as a child. I never forgot about that pick six in the '08 AFC Championship game. He ruined my childhood. We need to fire Roman. This pistol formation stuff it's just stupid. It needs to go. It needs to go. It needs to go. Why aren't you the Ravens coach? You're so smart. I'm not the only one that's saying this, man. A lot of us are saying this. I don't need to be the Ravens coach. They need to hire somebody that can clearly see the stupidity that's here. I'm not the only Ravens fan that's seeing this. Several Ravens fans have called us out. Like they're not good. They're not good. They are saying that the Steelers cheating has someone with COVID go to the facility and make all the Ravens sick. As a Steelers fan, I hope this ain't true. There's no legit proof. Sore losers, maybe. I don't know. People always try to say stupid things when your team loses. That didn't happen. Like, I don't even know why people are just saying some stupid stuff like that. That didn't happen. People say whatever they want to say to be when they're salty when their team loses. It is what it is. If the Ravens offense shows up, they can barely slide in. It really depends. Honestly, at this point, just no. Okay, Paul. No, he's not. He's not. He's not. You can go. You could go and compare their careers and compare their impact and stats. I'm taking Ed Reed, but we ain't about to have this as a debate. Hey man, season isn't over yet. We can most definitely win out, and it's very possible that we do. We just gotta sweep Cleveland. Well, Cleveland's the one game you gotta worry about, but at the same time, I don't trust this offense at all. And again, Cleveland, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, that run game is dangerous, and we have not been able to stop the run this season. That could very well kill us. Cleveland game could very well be the last. That's the killer game. That's the killer game because if we lose that game, it might be over, man. Ravens should start McSorley over RG3. They might. I don't know. RG3 looks hurt, so if Lamar is still not testing negative, that's going to be the situation. But I doubt that's going to happen. We'll see if it depends on Lamar tests negative because the earliest he'll be able to be available is Monday, and if he tests negative, he's off the list, so he can play for Tuesday. Hey, maybe bring Derek. Yes, bring in Mason as a receiver coach. That guy made some of the clutchest catches I've seen. Bro, what was it? It was a catch against the Cowboys that I could not believe this man made. I would not be. He would get these guys into shape. He would teach them how to catch a football. A.J. Brown or Terry McLaurin. How good of a quarterback do you guys think Ryan Tannehill is? Because A.J. Brown is a beast, and it's easy to pick him. And obviously, I'm not going to give all the credit to Ryan Tannehill. But Terry McLaurin has been doing what he's been doing. And he's played with, five multiple quarterbacks, man. I mean, he played with Kyle Allen. He played with Alex Smith. He's played with, obviously, I think he's played, 4 or 5 different quarterbacks, and he's still able to produce. So that's the thing. Look at the situation McLaurin's dealing with in his first few years, and look at the situation A.J. Brown's dealing with. A.J. Brown's offense he's a big part of that. And it's not like Ryan Tannehill throws the ball deep down the field too much, but A.J. Brown's a big part of their offense. Same for McLaurin, but McLaurin is throwing. Look at the quarterbacks who he's going. That's the situation. It's like a Julio versus DeAndre Hopkins type situation. Julio's got like DeAndre Hopkins when he was with the Texans. Julio's got Matt Ryan throwing to him. This man, D-Hop, was having Brock Osweiler throw to him. And I feel like that's kind of the same situation we're seeing with A.J. Brown and Terry McLaurin. Who are the quarterbacks that are throwing to him? And yet you look at it, he's still able to make plays. So, I kind of look at him like, man, that's just how it is. Who do you think is going to win the NFC? Oh, you mean the NFC East? I'm picking the Giants. I'm going to just take the Giants. would have taken Washington if they didn't get swept by the Giants, but it is what it is. Lamar, Josh Allen. This season, you got to give the credit to Josh Allen. Josh Allen has just performed better. But I feel like with Lamar, look at the situation he's in. He hasn't exactly been put in this position to succeed. Yet at the same time, I don't know. It's very close between the two, but Josh Allen's definitely having a better season. Unfortunately, I would love maybe next season, but I would love for next season Lamar and Josh Allen to be in great positions and we get to see both of them go out and do their thing. But right now, you got to give the credit to Josh Allen because he's just in a better situation and he's thriving and he's doing great for the most part. Ronald Darby or Eli Apple. I mean, I'm cool with Darby, but Darby was low key getting messed up, bro. But I could take Ronald Darby. But yeah, like I could take Ronald Darby. I can take him. Yeah. Terry is a beast. Knew that dude would be. Yeah, he isn't that another guy. That seems like it could have been another guy the Ravens could have had. But lucky for yeah, honestly, it could have been another guy we could have had. Oh man. Yo, bro, history repeats itself. Ravens won Super Bowl in election years. only the time, only the only who knows? They did win in 08. I mean, 08. In 2000 and 2012. Maybe they get in 2020. Who knows? I don't know. Steelers won't beat Casey. Sorry, don't believe it at all. We have to see what happens. I think they have the defense equipped to slow down Mahomes, but I don't know if they can beat him. Slowing down Mahomes and beating him are two different things. Ravens predicted finish 9-7. Hey, it is what it is. If we go 9-7, we'll just move on to the next season. It is what it is. Would you listen to NCT 127 Cherry Bomb English version of the song? Okay, see, I'm going to make sure I actually remember this and I will listen to this if I have time. Just gotta make sure I keep that moving forward. Man. It's definitely been a tough game, guys. Do you think the Chiefs will go 15-1? They probably could. I mean, I don't know any team that's gonna beat them at this point. Maybe they will go 15-1. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But with that being said, man, it's been a long day. That game was tough. I'm predicting the AFC Championship game will probably be Chiefs at Steelers. Who agrees? It depends. Let's see if the Chiefs can go 16-0. But who knows how this is gonna go down? I don't know. Allen Robinson or Devontae Adams? I'll take Devontae Adams. Who do you think's making it to the Super Bowl? Right now, the Chiefs are probably the favorites, and I think the Chiefs are probably gonna make it there because they're just fine. With that being said, guys, it's been fun. This was definitely a difficult loss. It was not even a difficult loss because we all expected to lose. We're just proud that the Ravens went out there and actually fought hard and played with their hearts. You know, they went out there and played the best of their ability. They showed toughness. They showed grit. They played their hearts out and did what they did. That being said, man, we're 6-5. Season ain't over. We have a chance if we can go on the run and finish 11-5. Let's just see how the situation goes. You know, NFL season ain't over. We still have a chance. We'll see what happens. With that being said, I appreciate you all stopping by for this stream. It's been fun. I gotta do this more often whenever I have time. But yeah, I'm probably gonna chill out. I still got this Batman game I gotta finish. I'm on my episode 5. I gotta finish this Batman game, so I'm gonna go play that. So yeah, you guys take care. It's been fun, and I'm out of here, man. Peace.